this time, we'll call to order the regular meeting of Common Council. This is July 15th, 2025. Carrie, roll please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Here.
Estercon.
Here.
Gantz.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Coniger.
Here.
Ledvina.
Here.
P-Rock.
Here.
Quigley.
Here.
And Mayor Boyd.
I'm here as well. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know, they're
Creek,
so...
creek, creek.
Thank you. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the June 17th, 2025 Common Council meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Comments or discussions? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Up next, item 4, approval of the minutes of the June 25th, 2025 special meeting of the Common Council.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? And we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, public hearing to act on a request for a zoning map amendment at the 1900 block of Ridgeway Drive. Will the clerk please read the notice of the public hearing?
The notice for this public hearing was published in the Press Times on June 27th and July 3rd, 2025.
Thank you. Dan, recommendation from Plan Commission.
Thank you, Mayor. The item before you tonight is a similar cleanup action that you've seen in the past as we've gone through the new zoning code. A little bit of background that we gave to the Plan Commission is the old zoning code had what was called Planned Development Districts, or PDDs. And up until about 2012, we were using the PDDs as a standalone zoning district, even though the code was meant to be an overlay district. That caused a lot of problems for the better part of 30 years trying to track down some information. So as part of the process of the new zoning code, each time we have an opportunity with a landowner who is interested in correcting a zoning map action, we're taking that opportunity. And so in this case, a new property owner has acquired the subject property for discussion tonight, and has requested sort of cleanup as part of their ongoing due diligence to see if a development is possible on the area off LeBrun or the LeBrun extension if there was to be one. It's important to note in this one that the cleanup action is going to be kind of one of that you'll see many over the next few months as we attempt to clean more and more of these items up. And no matter what was to happen here, whether it be any type of land use, this is going to require this action of cleanup. And so this is what's being proposed here tonight is actually to remove this parcel out of the PDD, as the new zoning code actually has more strict standards than what the PDD did back then. So as a result, you're getting a more strict design standards if it was to be multifamily. But again, even if it was to be something different than that, this step would have to happen. And so this is more or less a cleanup action here tonight, and any further development of this site would have to go through steps in the process.
Thank you. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item on the agenda. If someone in person or virtually wants to speak while the public hearing is open, now is your time. Anyone in person want to speak on this item? We see no one. Virtually, for the second time while the public hearing's open, if you want to speak on this item, item 5, now is your time.
Chief Muraski is the only one online.
I'm sorry, what?
Chief Moraski is the only one online.
Oh, well, that helps considerably. But to make it official, I'll do this a third time. If anyone wants to speak while the public hearing is open on item 5, now is your time. Being that it's just a chief, we know that's pretty clear out there. That said, I'll declare the public hearing closed and would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion
To approve.
to approve.
Okay. Second.
Motion by Alderperson Gantz, seconded by Alderperson Hanson to approve the request for a zoning map amendment. Discussion or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Aye.
Estercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Coniger.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Common Council. Anyone in person or virtually, chiefs out there only, have any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? If so, just go to the table up front. For the second time, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? For the third and final time, I will step in and make a public comment on items not on the agenda. I got in my mailbox yesterday, myself and Kim, a letter from one of the alderpersons, Alderperson John Quigley, regarding a decision that was made with he and his wife Jill, and some news that he'd like to share with us, and then I'll offer some insight as well afterwards. So Alderperson Quigley, what did you send my way yesterday, and what's going on?
It was kind of sad news, or at least bittersweet. I have decided to resign my position. So a lot of people in this room know that we've been looking for new housing and downsizing a little bit. We have made a decision to move out of the city. That won't happen for a couple of months yet, but I'm also going to be traveling on business in the next couple of weeks. So this will be my final meeting as a council member, and I've enjoyed it very much, and it's been a eye-opening and an informative process, but for me, at least for this run, it needs to come to an end.
Thank you very much. Yes, bittersweet on our end as well. We've known about this for a little while and kind of put it off, thinking it just might not happen, but I guess the house continued and it's close to being finished, so thanks, Jill, for that. John, if you would join me up front, I'd be honored.
Sure. Oh, no, this is one I can give my badge.
Oh, yeah? Sorry.
You want me to turn this
Yeah.
You're still here for a while. You're not
Taking up the text.
So John has served from 2021 to 2025. So he stepped up at a time that a lot of people are stepping down. Very difficult time. So we can't help but thank you immensely for what you had done. I did reply back. Obviously, I accepted your resignation begrudgingly, but I did state that these few words. I said, "You stepped up to serve at the most critical and difficult time in De Pere's history, and you delivered. You had no trouble adjusting to the nuances of being an alder, and your insight, comments, and votes bear that out. You are and will be part of some incredible and transformative decisions, and we're going to see that over decades to come." So the immense responsibility of all of you up here, people don't realize how long this continues and how transformative it is. So I'm going to set this down right here. We have a plaque for you that says, "In recognition and appreciation of your service to our community, the City of De Pere, the Common Council," and on behalf of the Common Council and everybody here, we would like to recognize John Quigley for his years of service as an alderperson. How about a big hand?
Yeah. Good try.
Take that plaque and run.
Yeah.
So people do know that in his resignation letter, the effective date that he has done is July 16th, which is tomorrow, and that's why he's still here tonight. So nice try on that one.
Yep.
Not going to go away. Also, I should note that we did meet as staff today and have been talking about this for a little bit. We will have a plan in place on how we'll replace Alderperson Quigley. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, we have recent experience from this. About a year ago, Alderperson Estercon stepped in during an appointment process as well. So residents and everyone else, stay posted for information regarding how you can apply for the position moving forward. So once again, thank you, Alderperson Quigley. All right, up next, because we do have kind of could be potentially a lengthy meeting, and there are some folks here that have been here for the License Committee, and I don't think we want to have them stay much longer for another hour or so. So we're going to move up items 13 and 14. So item 13, and then we'll go back to the regular order. Item 13, recommendation from the License Committee on a request by Austin Remington-Strombach to appear regarding the denial of his operator license application.
We made a motion to approve his license. So I'm making a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz to approve the license for Austin Remington-Strombach. Discussion or comments? Do you roll call on this? All right, seeing there is none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 14, recommendation from the License Committee on a request by Alfred Nelson to appear regarding the denial of his operator license application.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? It appears we have none. That said, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. All right, where am I here now?
Okay, so now we're going back.
7.
Public comment? No, we have that. Proclamation. All right, item 7. Item 7, proclamation of National Night Out on August 5th, 2025. Officer Joe Johnson, who's in charge of this, regrets to state that he can't be here tonight because he's on vacation. Otherwise, we would present this to him. We did kind of a presentation, picture-taking thing last week, so he's well aware that this is on the agenda tonight. I will read the proclamation. Proclamation, National Night Out, August 5th, 2025. Whereas National Night Out is a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program where citizens are encouraged to interact with each other and law enforcement at the neighborhood level to promote neighborhood spirit and police-community partnerships. Whereas the National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the city of De Pere, Wisconsin, to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas neighborhood watches play a vital role in assisting De Pere Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in the city of De Pere, and are supporting National Night Out locally. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of the city of De Pere be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in the city of De Pere. And whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program. Now, therefore, I, James G. Boyd, Mayor of the City of De Pere, do hereby proclaim August 5th, 2025 as National Night Out in the City of De Pere, and hereby call upon citizens of the City of De Pere to join the De Pere Police Department and its neighborhood watches in supporting the National Night Out. And again, as we move forward, there'll be information shared on social media regarding National Night Out. Clearly, the council knows about it as well. No, council, the meeting will not be canceled, and it will not be moved earlier. It'll be the normal time. So that would be your next question. Do we need a motion on this at all, or just accept it? Just do it. We're done?
Yep.
All right? All right, so I did my proclaiming, and we are done.
Has been proclaimed.
All right, thank you. Item 8, recommendation from the Board of Park Commissioners to approve De Pere Youth Hockey Association donation proposal of up to $50,000 for the De Pere Ice Center.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Quigley, seconded by Alderperson Ledmana. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
So it says in the memo from Marty that if for some reason the rink would be abandoned within 2 years of the improvement, the city would agree to refund the donation back to De Pere Youth Hockey. Obviously don't foresee that happening, but if that did happen and the improvements were already made, so let's say the $50,000 was already spent, would we then reimburse them just from like our general fund, or how would that work?
I think there's a couple of options. The city's general fund is obviously one, but we also, if we strategize right, you could have leftover funding in the ice arena fund. So there would be multiple options, but I understand why the De Pere Youth Hockey is requesting that with the recent discussions that have been going on, and I think it's fair of them to ask.
And do we have a timeline yet for when these improvements will possibly take place?
No, if it were to be approved, I'd probably be setting a meeting up tomorrow with the Pere Youth Hockey as well, and Brown County Ice Management to kind of set the groundwork. We don't even have all of our quotes in, the money's not even raised yet on the Pere Youth Hockey side. So there's a little bit of work to be done, but it would be done as soon as that we could.
Okay.
That doesn't help you much, but.
Yeah, that's good. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? That said, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Marty. Item 9, recommendation from Historic Preservation Commission to approve the final draft of the State Bank of De Pere National Register of Historic Places registration form as part of the process to designate 127 North Broadway as an historic property on the State Register and the National Register of Historic Places, Parcel ED-768.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, as chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, just wanted to say thank you to the property owners, Gretchen and Scott Trowbridge, for being willing to pursue this nomination. I also want to thank our consultant, Legacy Architecture. This is the first time they've done a project with the city, and they did a great job doing the research that led to this nomination form. And then at our last meeting in June, there were a couple of very minor corrections that some HPC commissioners noted. For instance, it refers to Main Street. That should be Main Avenue. And then there's a couple of corrections regarding dates related to white pillars. That's just in the general De Pere history section. And then one other correction I wanted to forward to staff tonight that came up after the meeting. It does in here refer to North Broadway, and I checked on the GIS. Technically, it should be North Broadway Street. So if we could just get street added after anytime Broadway is referenced. But otherwise, I think, again, the consultant did a really nice job. And Peter Schleins, our city planner, did say he was going to forward the corrections from the last HPC meeting to the consultant. So that will be revised before it's formally submitted.
Very good, thank you. For the record, for all you history buffs out there, I know there are some of you, if you look in the packet, and this is for residents at home too, they have a great picture of the site back in 1880
Yes.
of what it looked like and what Voyager Park looked like behind it and the rest of De Pere. It's an outstanding picture, so if you get a chance, please check that out and check out the packet. Other comments or questions? All right, looks like we have nothing else. That said, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, recommendation from Plan Commission to approve a 10-lot extraterritorial final plat of Grand Ridge Estates, second edition at 3400 Heritage Road in Ledgeview, parcels D-2573, D-2574, and D-2580.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Ledwina. Discussion or comments? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11, recommendation from the Finance and Personnel Committee to approve the 2024 management letter and financial statements. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Do you have stuff to say on this one?
I don't really need to say anything, but Elizabeth McMasters from CLA is here to review the executive summary and the financial statements. Everybody should have a copy that I had slid in everybody's drawer. So if you want a hard copy, it's there. Otherwise, online in your packet is the digital copy.
Everyone else's drawer except ours, or?
Yours is in your mailbox. You didn't. You like to borrow
Like a
my-
surprise. Do I? No.
No, I'm fine. It's actually in my office, so read through it
You read it.
meticulously. Yes, I did, Elizabeth.
Page-
All right, so go right to Elizabeth. Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having us. Scott Sternhagen and I both met with the Finance Committee last week. So here, fast forward, I'll go through the executive summary very quickly. There is the loose packet that is stapled. That's the one that basically summarizes the high-level points. So I'll just cover the main ones with those. Starting on page 1 then, the top of it, we issued what's known as a clean audit opinion or an unmodified opinion. That's no different than what the city has received in previous years. What that means is that we believe these financial statements are materially correct. That doesn't mean that we're going to find every single error within here. There still could be misstatements, but we use a risk-based approach to determine what those thresholds are, and we're following the audit standards in that guidance. And so we're able to issue that audit opinion, which is the whole goal of the audit. We also do an analysis of the city's internal controls. We don't issue an opinion on those internal controls, but if there was anything that we thought you should be aware of, we're required to bring them to your attention. We did have 2 findings this year. One is a significant deficiency relating to the preparation of this report. We do that as a service to the city, and it's a cost savings measure. We do this for 90% of the clients that we work on, all in that state and local government realm. So a very common finding. I would anticipate that finding to continue on. The second one is material weakness relating to an adjustment that we had to do this year for the audit. There were 2 accounting standards that had to be implemented this year, and because we're looking at things from a slightly different perspective this year, there was an item relating to the vacation, or well, I guess just a sick that adjustment related to, but the sick liability and how it was recorded in the general fund, it didn't quite meet the criteria to be shown the way it was, so we did make that movement. And I think that these types of items pop up from time to time. What you'll see in the report is that we're not making substantial changes to your year-end activity. All in all, the finance department, Pam and her team, and everybody, they're doing what they should. They're recording their revenues and expenditures the way that they should be, and the data that you're getting at these council meetings is generally going to be correct then. We have very little adjustments. This was just one that related to a year-end item. So everything was looking good from that perspective. I'll skip ahead to some of the financial information, which is starting on page 9. This gives a snapshot of all of the governmental fund balances for the entire city, really, right there. There's not a whole lot that I'll explain throughout this. Everything, there's not red flags or anything like that. The general fund, what we're always looking at is the unassigned fund balance, and that's, the top third section. It's sitting at 9.3 million in 2023. It was at just shy of 8.2 million. That is what's known as like the rainy day funds, and we're always monitoring what percentage that is as a percent of the general fund expenditures. The city has a policy to stay between, 25 to 35%? It's on the next page. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the city is currently above that. The 35% threshold would actually put you at about 5.8 million, so you're well ahead of that. The rest of the funds, I'll kind of skip over those, not too much there, and everything is progressing the way that it should. Moving on and through the next couple of pages, it has a good summary of the tax incremental districts. And I won't go into specifics there. I know Dan is here, the expert on those by all means. Moving into page 12, it has the medical self-insurance funds. You'll see the change in net position. In 2023 for the health insurance fund, it was negative 318,000, so you're using some of your fund balance up, meaning you had more in expenditures than your revenues. In 2024, it actually increased to a use of 875,000. That was something that was a little bit, or it was in the plans for the city. If you look at the chart on the next page, you'll see that the fund balance was quite high for that fund, and so there was a planned use of that fund balance. And one item that we talked through with the finance committee is just monitoring that. Obviously, you don't want to continually use that fund balance, but there already has been an increase in the premiums and so on. So definitely being monitored, but you'll see that decrease this year, and that was expected. And then moving into page 14, this is the last item that I'll kind of go over in a little bit more detail relating to the water utility. The water utility has been the fund that has been borrowing from other funds over the last number of years. And from an income statement standpoint, it looks like it's doing okay. You're taking in money from your user charges, you're able to pay your operating expenditures and so on. So it looks like it's doing okay. But if you go to the bottom, you'll notice that there's the line that says acquisition of capital assets, and $1.4 million was spent on that line in this last year. And for a city that's pretty standard. You can see in 2023 it was at 1.8 million. But where the problem is coming in is that the user charges are only netting to a revenue of $733,000 in cash. So you're significantly spending more in your capital assets than the user charges that the city is taking in. So this has been a hot topic that we've had many conversations with Pam on. The city is doing what they should be doing. They have had multiple rate cases with the Wisconsin Public Service Commission that dictates that rate structure for the water utility. So there was one a year ago. There's another one coming up soon. I don't know if you want to touch on that at all.
Yeah, so we just updated the rates earlier last year, and Scott and I have met with Ginny, who is our consultant that helped us with the last one, that we're going to be looking to implement another one with 26, which was something we had discussed with the 25 budget. So we are proceeding with that.
Yep. So along with, working with the Public Service Commission in order to raise those rates and to make sure that that rate structure is going to sustain the infrastructure of the utility, the other thing is just to try to control costs the best that you can. If there's any other creative ways, you always want to keep those in mind because that water utility has been struggling for a number of years now. So. The rest of the utility cash flows are all in the subsequent pages there, but there's, no news is kind of good news there. So I won't go into too much detail there. And then the rest of this packet, you'll see it has like the De Pere letterhead on the top of it. Yep, so this is the management representation letter. I always take this opportunity to have a plug. There's a lot of information that we're relying on from management whenever we go throughout the course of the audit, and I want to thank Pam and her team for everything that they provide because it's a tremendous amount of questions and data that they're giving to us. It can feel never ending, I'm sure. And so this is the letter that management is actually writing to us as the auditors, and they're, essentially saying that the information that they're giving us, we corroborate it throughout the audit, we trust but verify throughout our process. But that also is on council as well. We're reviewing the minutes that you guys are approving, what you're questioning, and so we appreciate any of those questions. If something, we always say, give it the smell test. If it doesn't smell right, definitely ask those questions. So we really appreciate, the due diligence that you guys do for the city as well. And if there's ever any questions that you'd like to run through as auditors, we definitely report to you guys, and we are definitely available at any point throughout the year if there's any questions. Pam has our contact information, and I know that we've had discussions with various people throughout the audit process. So we want to thank everybody because we greatly appreciate working with the city.
Great. Anything
Any
else?
questions? No, I'm good, unless there's any questions.
So finance, we had a number of questions, just so you all know, but
Yes.
doesn't mean none of you can ask questions, or you can ask the same questions again. So questions right now, while we have Elizabeth there in the hot seat. Mm-hmm. Do we have any questions? So obviously, we're in a good position. That's what we want to
Yes.
get across.
I forgot to mention too, and I think that this is an important one. Do they have this letter? They do. There's a loose letter within there, and I want to take 1 second just to explain this one. So in the past, I don't know if it's going to be in that electronic copy. It was probably in a separately issued one.
Yeah,
but
it was not in the electronic copy. It's the 2 pages that are stapled together.
Yes. Okay. So in the past, the city obviously received the ARPA dollars. In previous years, the city had also received other federal expenditures, which triggered what's known as a single audit or a compliance audit. This year, the city was able to have what's known as just an examination of those ARPA dollars, and it's a cost savings measure measure that we're able to have the city work through. So this letter is the examination letter that we provided as part of that. So we're looking at what the allowable costs are for ARPA, and did the city comply with that? And that's what this letter is relating to. So there were no issues done in the review of those ARPA dollars that were spent during 2024. And so now the city has gotten to a point where you've substantially spent most of your dollars, that you probably won't have another time that we'll have to look at them. The thresholds are too low after this point. So that's some assurance there that the city has, spent down most of it, and there were no Lamborghinis purchased.
You had to throw that out there, huh?
I did. We're always watching for that.
And by the way, that was one of the questions that was brought up at finance, so thanks for
Yes.
bringing that up. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Any questions, comments from anybody? Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Alderperson Hanson.
There was 3 TIDs that have the deficit, and then the pool capital project. I assume they're eventually going to be back in the black, but I'm just wondering if staff or CLA could comment on that.
I can speak on the pool one. I mean, that's our referendum money, that 900,000 that we're bringing in annually. It is helping pay off that debt. So by the time the debt is paid off, that fund will be back to positive. You can see slowly between 23 to 24 that it is being paid off.
Do we have an estimate of when it will be positive again?
I can look that up for you.
Okay.
Do you want Dan to take his first
Yep.
while she looks up? Dan, you have your questions?
Sure. And regarding the TIDs that are in the negative situation, those are all market dependent. They're all market dependent based off of where our bill rates have been projecting, as also where his developments are going. So a little bit hard to say where they're going, but your annual report that you'll be seeing over the next, probably next month, we'll actually get into more greater detail on the projections on each one of those moving forward. Again, they are projections, but they are my best approach to get you an answer on those ones.
Then I know too with the water fund, there's a lot of aging infrastructure needs. I don't know if staff can maybe comment on if the state has provided any additional funding to help us, or if it's really just on our shoulders right now.
Kim, you want to handle that? Or Pam?
You want to go?
Go ahead.
I'll try.
All right.
I do know that the budget, et cetera, and also via lobbying by the League of Wisconsin Municipalities had some funding in place for water. I don't know that we would be a direct recipient, though, or if that would go to entities like New Water or CWA or whatnot. So I don't know there's anything direct coming, but we are tackling these projects as they come. Public Works is doing a great job with our infrastructure trying to keep up, but you're right, as a city that has developed over time, we really need to be strategic to make sure we stay on top of that.
But if anyone hears of anything, Pam or Scott or any of us, we for sure will pass it on.
Always looking for funding sources.
And the league is really, she's right, they're really aware of those needs, so they kind of keep us informed. So absolutely. Does that help?
One of the things the league did was they had additional funding, like for loan program that we could borrow from. Now, we do annual borrowing, so that included in your packet later for one of our 2025A is $1 million for water. So we're going to have to start borrowing for the capital projects that we're doing instead of just cash flowing it. Unfortunately, the PSC looks at our debt ratio and says, well, you have hardly any debt, right? We have one debt issuance for water, and we're about to pay that off in 26. So they look at that, and it looks like we don't need to raise our rates for our capital. They don't look at the fact that our cash balance is negative because we're funding this capital. So the league had lobbied to get additional loan funds out there. We won't take advantage of those, but it will help a lot of smaller municipalities who aren't going out for annual borrowing, who would have to go through a full Moody's, rate case and do all of the extra expenses related to the borrowing. So that is one of those benefits. Back to the pool, it's going to be paid off in 2030.
Okay.
One add on the water infrastructure, and I do not have the date locked into my head, and we're future thinking a little bit, But part of the rate we charge is based on the fact that we are still paying off debt with Central Brown County Water Authority for the massive infrastructure it took to get the water out from Manitowoc into our system. We are, I believe we're within a 10-year time frame or less of paying that debt off, which means there could be a rate adjustment, but also there may be room in our rate to tackle more capital projects. And that will be one of those really great debt drop-offs that will give us a lot of flexibility as we look into the future.
Awesome.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else?
I'm going to save mine for a future agenda.
Are you going, you notice I just kept looking your way.
For
so
future agenda
I'm
items,
just
not to
throwing
be
that
spoken
softball
right
out
now.
there. Okay, very good. Anything else you two want to add? We're all good?
I will just point out that, as Elizabeth said, our fund balance in the general fund is above our 35% threshold. That 35%, the amount we're over, it does include the fact that we knew we had some PD and fire contracts that we have paid out now in '25. So that calculated to over $460,000 that we knew we were going to be paying out. In addition, we had about $600,000 worth of carryover that we already said that we were doing from '24 to '25. So that's
Yes.
part of some of the
Shrinks
stuff that
up
we.
even more, huh?
Yes.
Yep.
So,
And we did talk at length with finance about that.
yes. Just wanted to mention this.
Yes, yes, I'm glad you brought that up because they will play into that. So.
And that was a good discussion, so if people want to
Yes.
look back at that, we did tackle that.
Yep.
So we are going to get below 35 then?
I'm sorry, Sadie, I apologize.
We're going to get below 35 again then, or?
I can't say for sure we're going to
she
spend
didn't
all the
really
money
know.
that we
Yeah.
carried over and that everything's going to go exactly as we planned. It's just a matter of when we ask for unassigned reserves, as much as I hesitate using it, we do have that fund balance there available to use for those items.
So I think we just want to settle for a little bit, knowing that a few things are kind of out there.
I mean, I'm always probably going to tell you never to use it, but
You
I
do
will
say
also.
that, yes. You
I will also.
you do relent, but yes, you
Yeah.
do say that.
Yes, and one thing that we did talk about with finance too is that it's important. We've seen municipalities that get themselves into trouble where they get into spending sprees and so on. And I don't think the city, definitely doesn't go into those situations. However, I think that when you start to look at 5 to 10 year projections, there can be holes in places. And if you're not doing those projections and paying attention to that, that might be where those reserve funds kick in when you have some of those hills and valleys there. So I would strongly recommend looking at those 5 to 10 year projections and determining if those unassigned fund balance may potentially help with some of those hills and valleys rather than, spending.
using it for capital items instead of something
Yes,
that's
yes,
operating.
nothing
ongoing.
operational. You want to stay from any operational expenditures. Yes, one-time items are where you want to stay.
Decrease our
you.
borrowing.
Decrease borrowing. Sorry, Justin.
Other questions or comments? So Elizabeth, and pass this on to Scott. Thanks for all that CLA does, because clearly it's a good relationship we've had with Pere and both of you for many, many years. You make things clear to understand. If we have questions, you're always available to answer. So thank you very much. And I'm sure Pam and everyone else would agree that it's a good relationship, unless she's going to say something afterwards or tomorrow morning. But
No, I appreciate the relationship we have with.
I'm sure you do.
As do
I think
we.
you just wrote Pam's review, and she's very grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love working with Pam.
All right. That said, we do have a motion and a second on this, correct?
Yes,
We do. Okay. And all we need is, all those in favor say aye, correct? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now we're kind of bopping around here a little bit. 12. Item 12, recommendation from the License Committee on a Class B fermented malt beverage, Class B intoxicating liquor license renewal application for El Bistro Taco for the licensing period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's jump to item 15. Consideration and possible action on the DPR home improvement loan for Kristy Pikus, property owner at 606 North Clay Street, DPR, Wisconsin. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Quigley. Questions or comments regarding this loan and the changes? All right, very good. That said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Estercon?
Aye.
Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Hunniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 16, staff presentation and periodic update to the comprehensive plan update process. Dan.
Did you,
Wait, did I miss something?
I'm sorry.
Was I going to move something up?
Well, no, I'm just wondering, Justin here.
Oh, we were thinking of moving Justin up first, weren't we? Should we do that?
Can you do this? You can do that now. Can you move an item?
We can do that right now. We're thinking of possibly just moving Justin ahead, if that's okay.
Look at how happy he is. Yeah.
So we're gonna bump Justin.
Justin has a bit of a drive. So.
Okay, so we're gonna do that for Justin, and we're starting at item 23, correct?
That'd be nice.
Sorry, yeah.
Item 23, okay. Thanks for the reminder. No, that's perfect. Item 23, we're gonna jump up to there. Item 23, Resolution 2579, authorizing parameters for 2025A general obligation promissory notes. And we're going to go to Justin Fisher from Bayer to take us through this right now. And this will be kind of an explanation for 23, 24, 25, 26, right?
Correct.
Justin, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
It's great to see everyone again. This is going to be a quick presentation. We went through this with finance last week, so like I said, I'm going to give a quick summary of kind of what we talked about. So if we go to page 2 of the presentation, what this is going to be a summary of the 3 different financings that are being proposed. The first financing is a general obligation promissory note, Series 2025A, in the amount of $32,135,000. It's going to fund a variety of different capital improvement projects, whether it be your general CIP-related projects. You've got some building projects with the MSC building, et cetera. We've got a variety of different TID-related projects, combining it all to consolidate it into one financing for tax-exempt debt. The maturity structure for this is September 1, 2026 to 2045, and of those different purposes, they're kind of mix and match based on the useful life of those projects. Like the building projects are done over 20 years. We have the amortization for the generalized CIP over 10 years. So while it's a 20-year maturity in total, they're broken out internally to show different amortizations to match up with the useful lives of each project. First interest being March 1, 2026, callable September 1, 2034, or any date thereafter, so that's when you can refinance or prepay it. And the estimated interest rate is a 4.75%. The not to exceed parameter rate would be a 5%, and not to exceed amount is $32,135,000. The next financing would be a taxable general obligation promissory note, Series 2025B, in the amount of $5,860,000. Again, variety of different TID-related projects. This is in collaboration with Pam, Dan, Kim, et cetera, kind of coming up with this longer-term plan. We've got capitalized interest through 2027 related to the TID number 17 because that's a newer TID, tax increment district, and we're waiting for the revenues to come in before we start paying the debt service on that. Matures September 1, 2026 to 2040. First interest March 1, 2026. Again, callable 2034 or any date thereafter at an interest rate of 5.75% and not to exceed rate of 6%. Due to the capitalized interest, unknown and what the interest rate is going to be, the not to exceed amount is $5,900,000. The next financing is a note anticipation note. There's going to be essentially 2 resolutions kind of tied to this. First one that you're going to see is going to be giving you authority to eventually refinance this financing with future general obligation debt. This is related to tax increment district number 18. That is a 27-year life district, and so with general obligation debt, you by state statute can only do that for up to 20 years. By issuing the note anticipation note first, you can do that for up to 5 years and then eventually restructure to better meet the cash flows of a revenue producing item like tax increment district number 18 is going to be with the parking structure. This is specifically related to the parking ramp. So we want to get some better information before we restructure that and better meet the cash flows of what that's going to look like. The maturity structure is September 1, 2030. First interest March 1, 2026, and it's going to be callable in 2028 or any date thereafter. Estimated interest rate of 4.75, not to exceed 5%, and not to exceed $7.3 million. The next page, if we go to the timeline here, so last week we went through all the the nitty-gritty details of the long-term plan of finance, where that was approved tonight. While the preparations are made for the financings, we continue down that process. We've got our bond rating call scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, where myself, Pam, Dan, and Kim will be participating in that, where we'll be going through all the financials and updates, developments, et cetera, with Moody's, where they're ultimately going to be going to their internal credit committee and making a recommendation on the outstanding rating. Currently, the rating for the city is a AA2, which is a very good bond credit rating. That's where it's been for the last number of years, and with the goal of continuing to maintain that rating. Council is considering the resolution tonight, and then we would ultimately get in position to potentially jump into the market for a sale of these different financings on the week of August 11th, with the closing occurring September 4th of 2025. The last page, I like to show this because, again, it shows that, I think, a good visual of how the city has been, while you're getting in capital investments done within your community, you're also paying down your debt at a high clip while growing. So municipalities can borrow up to 5% of your equalized valuation. The city has grown pretty tremendously over the last several years due to a lot of development and just growth in general. We've also been paying down a good amount of debt because you continue to borrow and pay that usually down in 10 years or less. So the black bars in this illustration, that's your outstanding general obligation principal on an annual basis. So you can see how that continues to decrease every year. The blue, that's the tax exempt financing, and then the gold there is kind of the taxable notes stacked on top of it. The gray is what you have as available borrowing capacity remaining at any point. So at the end of this year, after these financings take place, you'll still have 49% available capacity, or about $88.2 million. So, that gives us comfort that, you're while you're getting these larger projects done, you're also making sure you pay down your debt at a high clip at the same point, allowing you to be able to have this strong capacity at any point in time. So, with that, I'll entertain any questions.
Thank you. Just as Elizabeth said, we're in good position. Justin is saying the same thing. So that's really good news for residents out there to hear that. Questions or comments while we have Justin there? So we're just waiting on August 11 to make sure we get these good rates, right? Things are going to change dramatically. No.
No news is good news.
Thank you, Justin. I'll make a motion to approve the authorizing parameters for the promissory notes.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Discussion or comments?
I'm sorry, Mayor Boyd, just to confirm, this would be the authorizing parameters for the 2025A?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
My apologies for, yes.
Nope, just
Yep.
wanted to make sure.
Alderperson Carpenter, same thing.
Yes.
Thank you. Questions or comments while we have the motion? All right, looks like we have a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson?
Aye.
Cuniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
P-Rock?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Estercon?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 24, Resolution 2580, authorizing parameters for 2025B taxable general obligation promissory notes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Levina, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Anything to add here at all, or
Nope.
pretty much have it all out there? All right, that said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Hanson?
Aye.
Cuniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
P-Rock?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Estercon?
Aye.
Gantz?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 25, Resolution 2581, an initial resolution authorizing general obligation promissory notes. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? We have none. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Cuniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
P-Rock?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Estercon?
Aye.
Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Last one, item 26, Resolution 2582, providing for the issuance and establishing parameters for the 2025 C note anticipation notes.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Pirog, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion, comments. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Ledvina.
Aye.
Pirog.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Cuniger.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you for moving me up.
Safe travels. You can stay and listen to the rest of this if you like. Oh, I know. It's on video. You'll just check it afterwards. I totally understand. Thanks, Justin. All right, now we're going back to 16, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, item 16, staff presentation and periodic update to the comprehensive plan update process. Dan. Settle in, people.
I want to go through here tonight. Settle in. We're going to go through just a little bit of an overview, where we're at, where we've been over the past few years, and I guess you say the final steps moving forward. So as I go through this, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me. We'll answer as many as I can and kind of work our way through it. So in general, if you kind of pull back to 2021, 2022, we started the comprehensive plan process as a result of one being having to update our
Is
I don't think his
your mic on?
microphone's on.
My apologies.
You sound so much better when it's on.
I don't know about that, but we started the 2021 and 2022 comprehensive plan process, specifically one to update and be within the limits of the comprehensive plan statutes. Two, to be within, I guess you'd say, even more market realities of our comprehensive plan, because it was last adopted in 2010, but primarily was based in 2004, and I'm going to get to that here shortly. But in that overall arching goals of the comprehensive plan, we were to look at the market conditions, additional funding opportunities that have come out since that time, and sort of coming out of post-COVID, understanding the implications of where our world is at that point. And so we started that as one of the major incorporating factors. We wanted then to also kind of wait until the 2022 census data came out. And so it's sort of a longer process. Usually when the census data is collected, it takes a couple years for it to fully roll out. And so we were a little delayed in that one. But we also really wanted to take this opportunity and streamline the plan. And meaning, I have this document here. This is our 2010 plan. And I have the 1970 plan, the 1980s plan, and then all of a sudden in 2000 it tripled in size, and then in 2004 it grew a little bit more, and then 2010 it grew a little bit more. And I would say by that content, the content really didn't grow, or the quality of content didn't grow. And I'm going to get to that as kind of an industry trend in a second. But then we also wanted to incorporate other elements into this process. We also had the Cultural District Master Plan that was adopted in 2018, and we wanted to take an opportunity to address the West Side. Now, during that Plan Commission meeting and the council meeting, staff specifically asked the Plan Commission, do we want to address the downtown plan as a whole? Do we want to address the Cultural District Master Plan and expand it, or do we want to take and provide a new plan to the West Side? Ultimately, the Plan Commission and Council selected and elected to do a West Side plan. I'm going to get to why that may not have been the most appropriate decision according to our residents and our business owners in the downtown, but I'll get to that here shortly. So we ran into some challenges, and I want to get to the overall market realities of a comprehensive plan. The city of De Pere has been doing comprehensive plans for 5-6 decades now, and if you actually go back through the old ones, they're kind of fun to read, and actually a lot of stuff has sort of been pretty accurately projected. But once we got to the late 90s and early 2000s, the comprehensive plan law was being kicked into gear. And during that time, there was a lot of money being put out by the state for municipalities to adopt comprehensive plans. Many counties were going on full blower and doing them as one big plan and then splitting them out by community. I know Marathon County did it. Brown County did it with some level of smaller communities. A lot of other counties around the state did that because the counties became primarily their lead planning agency. Well, ultimately, what that came down to is a lot of money being put towards one organization to do a lot of plans, and there's a lot of replication when that happens. So our plan back in 2000, the year 2000 was authorized in 2004. That's when we finalized the plan. The comprehensive plan under the new language was a $306,000 grant in 2004. You take that to today's dollars, it's $525,000 to do a comprehensive plan. No one's doing that anymore because you have to do it on your own. And so who has $500,000 to sit and put towards a comprehensive plan? Nobody. So the language of a comprehensive plan requires you to do meeting certain elements. There's 9 elements of comprehensive plan that you have to follow and meet. And so plans tend to sort of ballooned as they were growing because you had to address all 9 elements. Not every community needed to address all those 9 elements thoroughly. Now, a lot of communities of our size do, and so it's important that those are addressed. But as a result, documents continued to grow, became more and more voluminous in just pure text, and became very cumbersome. And from a planning perspective, most comprehensive plans followed the same document structure. Started with an executive summary, and I'm going to take you into a planner's brain for a second, so I apologize. Documents sort of started in executive summary, went through extensive data and sort of narratives addressing some of those, I guess you would say, required elements and the things that you saw. Then you got a bunch of maps. Then you got a bunch of the required elements that said, here's our required elements. And then you had implementation strategies. Well, for the general public and for the council and for others, those last implementation strategies are the most important, and we put them at the end. And in terms of this document, and I'm not calling on Brown County and saying you did a bad job or anything, but there's recommendation strategies throughout this document, in the narrative text, in tables, at the end of the document. If you truly went through and actually read the text verbatim, you could pull 7 to 8 recommendations almost off of every page. That's a bit of a challenge, and they're very long ones. Almost a paragraph becomes a full recommendation. That's very cumbersome from a staff perspective and also very confusing from a general public's perspective when the narrative all of a sudden is slightly different than a recommendation at the end. And so a lot of documents back during that time are that way. Green Bay is undergoing a comprehensive plan change at this time, and they have 2 of these as their document. They have one issues and opportunities book that is this thick, and one actual document that's comprehensive plan recommendations that's that thick. I can tell you they are also taking an attempt to shrink that document. So as state funding began to decline, we began to shift away from that model and more towards a higher level model. Let's hit the high points. Let's become that guiding document, and really let's put in the document what's most important. Do I say comprehensive plans are less comprehensive? I'm not trying to say that, but I'm sort of saying that. We attempted to almost address everything we possibly could in this document, including future intersection design. That's probably something you don't put in a comprehensive plan because it is also very market driven. It's very market sort of how the trends in the industry are going. So there's certain elements that we probably need to be pulling back in. We've also seen significant declines from this plan to post-2020 plans in office, the importance of office and employment growth in office. We also don't see automation addressed in old plans, or old plans, I mean a decade-old plan. Automation, AI, all those components strictly aren't in there. We haven't addressed items in this one. We didn't expect to see the outpace of cost of construction over growth costs. We also didn't see the importance of public health components as we've seen over the past 5 years resulting from COVID. And then even just the growing demand for public infrastructure just to grow our community has become way more costly from a dollars per foot standpoint than we've ever anticipated. Those things weren't even in here 10 years ago. And so the importance is if you try to address everything, you're going to miss a lot because you can't address everything. So the industry trend is one, to pull document sizes back down, be more high level and more aspirational with it, and almost be more of a strategic plan. In 2018, the city of De Pere underwent its strategic vision and its strategic plan. That became our jumping off point for this comprehensive plan update. It didn't make sense for staff and the steering committee leading this process to say, we did all this great work, created a vision, created a new brand, let's set it on the side and let's go do another one. And it didn't make sense. And so throughout this process, we looked at shifting the document structure a little bit differently than what you would have anticipated. And I think I have, so we have our strategic plan and branding goals. We really had several overarching goals, and there's 4 bullets that really became the goals of that strategic vision, and that's what you see there. Smith Group, our consultant, took those and had an opportunity to say, how can we integrate those into the plan and make sure everything we're doing addresses those? But we also addressed 4 community visions that came out of the discussions during that strategic plan, and having De Pere being equitable and inclusive, being connected and accessible, livable and vibrant, and sustainable and resilient. Those are narrative and words that came out of that strategic plan process that became almost a second level of guiding principles. And so we have guiding principles as our jumping off point. So I did include the draft plan in its current state, and again, very draft format here, but if you notice in the first 20 pages or so, you start to see where those things start to work their way out and sort of guide the document. And so every document structure or every piece of the document that you see moving forward should address one of those 4 secondary or one of those 4 visionary themes. Is the recommendation leading towards a more equitable and inclusive community? Is it connected and accessible community? Is it a more livable and vibrant community? And is it more sustainable and a resilient community? Each one of those goals should get to that element. There it is. And then the document structure. So instead of having us addressing the required elements of having your issues and opportunities, having a land use chapter, having a transportation chapter, a cultural resources chapter, having those required elements, we took those and put them under buckets. And what I mean by buckets are we have a people bucket, a systems bucket, and a places bucket. If you remember when you talk about sustainability, there's people, places, and planet. We're sort of in that same sort of realm of kind of the 3 branches of sustainability: people, places, and systems, whether or not that's economics or others. So we've taken that in the draft plan. If you've seen it, you see that the required elements are now under one of those three buckets. And so instead of 9 chapters, you're looking at maybe 3 main chapters with subs underneath it. Milwaukee's actually taken a very similar process like this and said we need to craft a comprehensive plan that is towards us and not just a requirement. We'll still meet the requirements, but we'll draft it towards what we need. And so I think page 4 of the document shows you where the required elements are in the plan. But overall, taking a look at that, that's the overall structure. We've gotten pretty far. I did provide a update to the plan since it was at Plan Commission last month. I was actually able to finally get it down small enough file size so it fit on our agenda packet, and actually did make some of the changes, Alderperson Hanson, to incorporating more of the historical elements and making some map changes since that time. So really only the people chapter has been updated since that time, and staff is working towards places and systems before it gets to the steering committee. So why has it taken it this long so far? You saw in my memo there's multifaceted reasons why it's sort of taken long. One of which is we had an opportunity to expand the scope a little bit by looking at the West Downtown Plan. We're also incorporating a Southeast Area Plan, and so that is in the draft here at this point. We've added on to it a few times. We did the parking study. We did the housing study last year. Those things are all snowballed on each other, and now are working their way back into the plan. The second kind of footnote to that one is staffing limitations really caused some bottlenecks on that one. You've seen that we've added 2 staff to my staff between an inspector as well as a new economic planner that has really sort of freed up my time to now that they're within their first year fully up and running. I have now been able to free up my time back to this project. And really that's what that was a big component to that one. And the third one was, as I mentioned, the West Downtown plan. We throughout the West Downtown Vision Plan, we met with the business owners on several occasions, and they weren't, I guess you'd say, happy with our recommendation to have a separate plan, because now we would have had a downtown plan, a cultural district master plan, and a West Side plan. Mm-hmm. Competing plans when the businesses want to be treated as one downtown. And I know when we did the cultural district master plan, there was discussion about having multiple identities. I think the businesses, even the East Side businesses, have said that's probably a different take we shouldn't have taken at that time. We met with some landowners last week who are happy that as part of our 2025 budget, we put money back in to now take the West Downtown plan work that's been done to date, the cultural district master plan, the 2010 plan, the work that Marty and his crew have done with the comprehensive outdoor rec plan, the work that Tina and definitely the Pere are doing at their plan, and bringing them back into an updated downtown plan for a united vision. And that is a big component to this. And so that one also took us pause on this one because there was some pushback from businesses saying, we want to be just as much of an arts district as the East Side. And if you actually look on our West Side, you see that we have just as many murals, we have sculptures, we have a variety of other stuff. Do we have a $100 million multicultural art center? No, but we also do have many smaller niche components that are all coming towards it. And so when we looked at the West Downtown Vision Plan, I want to remind the council that the East Cultural District Master Plan was an $80,000 plan, and we only allocated a fraction of that towards the West Plan. And so again, businesses felt that they should have an equal say and equal vision into this one. And so I applaud the council to be putting forth this opportunity to create a cohesive vision for our downtown. And again, that is actually underway right now. Quaison is drafting the RFP. It's actually in its final stages to be released here shortly. So part of this plan will then take that when it's adopted at its date and attach it as an appendix to it. And so we want these sub-area plans to be the guiding documents so that they are done the heavy lifting, and the comp plan is just meant to be the guiding document. We don't want to have comp plan and West Downtown Plan or Southeast Area Plan or any other future area plans to compete. So that's where we sit with that one. So moving forward, we have next steps in our process. We have 4 additional steering committees meetings to go down those buckets. So the first 3 meetings will go through those buckets, the people, places, and systems, with a final meeting to culminate all the work for public hearings. And so we have 3 additional public open houses planned. 4 additional common council meetings will be there, or actually I should say plan commission meetings, sorry, not common council meetings. 4 additional plan commission meetings that will all sort of waterfall themselves following the steering committee and public open houses. Common council review and then common council adoption 30 days after that. It's about a 6-month time for adoption. We'll make many changes during that time, but that's our overall planning process update. I have a Gantt chart there if you want to read it, but it's quite small, but it was in your packet. That's a lot. You're in my planner brain now, so I apologize, but I am available for any questions.
Yeah, we're going to give people a second to digest that. Questions, comments? It is, I mean, no pun. It's very comprehensive. It's quite good. But questions, comments. Everyone understand kind of where we are right now, because that's part of understanding that part of it too. That we're in the draft phase. Alderperson Hanson.
Do we have the steering committee up and running at full staff?
Yeah, we are meeting tomorrow.
Hey.
Because it says
what
like
you said.
Yeah, the steering committee, by the way, and for those that want to know, we have some replacement members who have either left their organization or have they pre-filled. But when we started this process, because it's meant to take this document and really shorten it up, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater and starting fresh. We're taking these recommendations, synthesizing them down, and simplifying them, adding more text, more language, more graphics. The reason why that committee isn't 30 people wide is because it would take forever to do that. So it's a very nimble committee with people who wear multiple hats. And so we have an RDA member who was also part of the building community. We have the multiple plan commission members that represent regional partners as well. We have school district representation on there. We've had high school representation on there. We've had a good core group of individuals. And again, they wear multiple hats at this time. And every person on here, except for maybe one who may represent the school district, is a citizen member. So, and Business Improvement District, Chamber of Commerce, they're all representative as well.
So all these categories do have a representative. For instance, they mentioned like a Historic Preservation Commission member I'm not aware of.
Peter's representing the Historic Preservation side, the opinion. Staff is also providing the economic development side of things. And so we are also relying on staff to provide Public Works recommendation, park recommendations. We're relying on the staff members to provide updates to those components as they are relatively the subject matter experts and can vet those things and provide guidance to how their committees have responded over the past few years. More than willing to bring it forth in front of a committee as well. So,
I don't think HPC members counts for staff, but
Do they not?
No, it's I should say HPC. On there it says HPC members, but we did have Chris Rainier's on the organization. So again, providing recommendations. We did have others that were on there, but we do have representation. Your brother's on there, McKim is on there, and so again, we do have representation as well.
Okay.
I question that choice as well too. Other questions or comments? Did you have more?
I had one other one.
You can go ahead.
I was just curious, Dan, the downtown West De Pere master plan, I was surprised there's quite a bit of recommendations about the east side. I'm wondering why that was.
Because we were trying to do what we said we were trying to do, which is trying to link the plans back together. And so again, that's the reason why is the consultant was, as we brought them on board, after hearing from the businesses, kept hearing the same things, is how do we link back together? And that's the reason why. So it was an attempt to give a west plan, but speak to the east side plan as well.
Okay.
And again, that is a result of organic conversation.
Okay. Other questions or comments? Again, very extensive document.
Much more colorful.
Yeah, I'm trying to read that chart thing, and I can't make that any bigger to make sense out of it. But anyone have anything else? Dan, anything else you want to add? We were just wondering, should we make a motion to?
No, it's
place
just
on
a staff
file?
update.
Okay, so you don't even want that?
Nope.
Just keep it, okay.
No, if you have recommendations or suggestions or identifications of things, please let me know. We're also of this week and next week creating a new hub site for people to submit comments on an ongoing basis. And so if you want to submit comments once that hub site is up, you feel free to do it that way as well.
I did kind of learn, so what's the ending date on this? Because I was trying to read that and
Yeah,
trying
it's-
to read through your stuff, so.
End of January of next year is sort of roughly it depends on where it falls on the council schedule. There's a 30-day notice requirement. So again, we would like to bring it in front of you for the initial snapshot, put it out then for 30-day public comment, and then bring it back to.
And then draft comes off, and then we.
Yep. Throughout this time, as I mentioned, there are 4 additional Plan Commission meetings, and so if you want to listen in to the Plan Commission discussion, you notice on the chart here, it's a little hard to see, but there's sort of waterfalling. There's people waterfall, places waterfall, and systems waterfall. Way that happens is steering committee meeting, staff making recommendations and revisions to those comments, going out to public open house, presenting that steering committee recommendations from the old plan, open house, taking comments back to the Plan Commission, and for final, I guess you'd say, revisions to that section. That happens as a waterfall, and so there's overlappings, but it's so that we don't go out to the public 4 months later, go out to the steering committee 4 months later, go out to the Plan Commission. They all the topics waterfall together.
Thank you. Understand. There are questions or comments?
other quick thing.
Alderperson Hanson.
Dan, it talks about comprehensive outdoor rec plan 2018 to 2023 in the list of
Yes.
plans, but I think there's been an update since.
Yeah, those one of the sections, I actually had to reach out for the graphic, and you had a comment on the graphic at the Plan Commission level. I got the original parent graphic from the consultant today.
Okay.
The last comment is, what I would say is we contracted $80,000 for this project, and that includes the West Downtown Vision Plan. I believe we got way more than $80,000 worth of product in this document. So at this point, staff is taking it across the finish line. And so we've sort of spent on budget. We went through multiple revisions where we shifted gears, and that eats up budget. And so staff is taking it through the finish line. We got it really far along and making final tweaks and recommendations, making map updates. We did the maps anyways the first time, so our GIS department is making map updates and getting it through the last public engagement. They'd met all their public engagement components. We wanted to go back out to the public for more this time. We're in the middle of 2020, 2021, 2022, when people were either surveyed out, didn't want to go to open houses because of COVID and a variety of other elements. And so we are taking it on ourselves to go out to the public again.
All good.
Good.
Again, a lot of information, so encourage residents to check this out. Tons of information in this draft form comprehensive plan. Anything else anyone wants to add before I move on here? All right, Dan, thank you very much. Up next. Item 17, Resolution 2573, authorizing amendment to AIA Document B101, 2017 Standard Form of Agreement with GRAEF-USA for Public Parking Structure, 230 North Wisconsin Street. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Questions, comments, anything to add? So this is final for the parking structure.
This is an amendment for the parking structures to get some additional soil samples and results to help better understand the subsurface conditions. It's important because this amendment could help assist with reducing the overall cost by switching to a different footing systems, I guess you could say.
So people are asking what exactly is going on with the Shopko project. The hotel has broke ground, public parking ramp, still doing samples.
To stay within scope of this agenda item, I will say both hotel and mixed use are underway, and the parking ramp is slated for later this year.
Perfect.
And
That's all I need.
you'll see all that coming in the next few months.
Good. What I need to hear. A lot of activity going on. Thank you. Questions, comments? All right, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Pirog,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Esther Khan,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 18, Resolution 2574, extending the life of Tax Increment District Number 8 for the purposes of funding affordable housing and improving housing stock in the city of De Pere.
Move to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. This is a very good thing.
Yep.
Questions, comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Dan, are we planning to further invest and potentially expand the existing affordable housing programs or look at creating new ones with these funds?
At this point, we've had, the overall goal at this point is to replenish the fund, and we'll bring that, once we get those dollars, we'll bring it back. If we find means to use it for other funds, we will. Most recently, the Finance and Personnel Committee heard from the Preserve Development over off of the, on the west side, which has an affordable housing component, which if used, will take up a significant amount of that program, and so it would help replenish that fund.
Okay.
Very good, thank you. Anything else? All right, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Esther Khan,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
Pirog.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 19, Resolution 2575, terminating Tax Incremental Financing District Number 8. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Pirog. Questions, comments? This speaks for itself. All right, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Esther Khan,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
Pirog,
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 20, Resolution 2576, terminating Tax Increment District Number 16.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Pirog. Questions, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Esther Khan,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
Pirog,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye. Motion carries, thank you. Item 21, Resolution 2577, authorizing AIA documents A133, 2019, and A201, 2017 with Myron Construction for public parking structure, 230 North Wisconsin Street, ED-875.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Quigley, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. Discussion or comments? Seems we're all good. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Esther Khan,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
Pirog,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 22, Resolution 2578, authorizing professional services agreement change order with Stantec Consulting Services, 2535 Lawrence Drive.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by me. This is for the one property, the blight.
G&G Rebuilders blighted
Yeah,
property
okay.
on Lawrence Drive.
All right, so this is good. Questions, comments? I need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Coniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
Pirog,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Esther Khan.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 27, correct? Appointment to the Downtown De Pere Business Improvement District Board. To the left of me, Kim. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by...
Dan.
Everybody wants to second that. Alderperson Coniger. Discussion, comments? Anyone have any issues? That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. You're on. Yes. Item 28, reappointments to the Downtown De Pere Business Improvement District Board. Be Mary Boyd and Tom Gavick. Terms expire June 30th, 2027. And Maya Romboy and Rich Starry. Terms to expire June 30th, 2028.
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderperson Coniger, seconded by Alderperson Levina. I never asked about this. Do I have to abstain from this? This is fair enough. I've never asked about that.
It's not a financial position. I mean, if you just want to state on the record the relationship and that you're not biased.
Okay.
Should be fine.
We have a motion and a second, and just for the record, I have a relationship with one of those that are being appointed, but I am not biased, and I'm clear of that. That said, we have, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Too many Boyds mentioned tonight.
Yep.
Up next, we have future agenda items. Does anyone have anything? Alderperson Carpenter.
Yes, I would like to have an update on the water utility as to the infrastructure. I gotta believe we're well over 60-70% of having plastic water main in our system. So like your mileage of pipe and what we actually have in the ground, so we can have a percentage. So when somebody thinks we're really deficient, we're not as deficient as we really think we are.
Very good. I believe that will go to public. You have it? Public Works?
I'm here.
Yeah, that'd probably go to public.
Other future agenda items. Alderperson Hanson.
I also have one for Public Works. I have a couple alleys in my district that have had some issues with severe potholes. So I would like the most recent Paiser ratings for all of the alleys in the city, which I know staff keeps updated periodically, presented to the Board of Public Works, and then discussion about how many alleys we might be able to fix or reconstruct over the next 5 years with the existing budget, or if we have to look at getting additional revenue.
Thank you. All good? Are you all good? Got it? Got it. Other future agenda items.
Only the best for us.
Up next, because it is last, Alderperson Quigley, you have to make the motion to adjourn.
I would make a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to second that and accept that. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All reluctantly and sadly.
Yeah.
But this is
A
it.
little too anxious.
That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're officially adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.